Welcome, City of Daly City, to tonight's Tuesday, July 23rd, Recreation Commission meeting. For public participation, to submit a comment in writing, please visit www.dalycity.org/agendas and complete the public comment form. 2, to speak at the meeting in person, please submit and complete a speaker card located at the entrance to the City Council chambers and submit to a staff member as early in the meeting as possible. All right, moving on with the meeting, we'll go with the call to order.
Chair Ortiz,
Here.
Vice Chair Miranda, Commissioner Luna,
Here.
Commissioner Montanez,
Present.
Commissioner Anoy.
Thank you, Edgardo. And we'll go ahead and do the pledge to the flag. All rise. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, we'll go ahead and approve the agenda for this evening. Do I have a motion to approve?
I motion to approve tonight's agenda.
Cool, do I have a second?
I second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. And for the minutes, do I have a motion to approve the minutes from last meeting?
Motion.
Awesome, do I have a second? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, moving on with the rest of the evening. Do we have any public comments?
We do not have public comment this evening.
None, you said?
No.
Okay, thank you, Edgardo. And then we can move on to the director's report. I'll have you take it away.
All right. So today we have a few presentations. The first up is going to be Brian Flowers. He is a Recreation Service Coordinator with the Recreation Department. He'll be talking about the youth baseball program.
Excuse me? The presentation first. Good evening, Commission. My name is Brian Flowers. I'm a Recreation Services Coordinator. One of my responsibilities is youth athletics. We just got finished with our Daly City Youth T-ball, as well as our coach pitch. The youth T-ball is 4.5-year-olds to roughly 7-year-olds. And then our T-ball, and then we had 38 participants this year, which broke out into about 4 teams. We started April 14th and we wrapped up on May 18th. The way the season works is there's one practice each week at our Westlake baseball facility, and then there's a game on Saturdays. And this year I implemented something different. We had Friday night games also. So we turned on the lights, kind of made it a fun atmosphere for the kids. The price was $111 for residents and then $139 for non-residents. These are just some of the photos of our T-ballers. It's a good time. If you're interested in relieving some stress and having a good laugh, it's sit and watch a T-ball game. Next slide, please. Next one is our coach pitch. This is ages 7 to 9. We had 28 participants. If you know anything about scheduling, we unfortunately had to make 2 teams. Just because we couldn't make 3 teams. There would be one team would have a bye every week. It wouldn't work. Same, we started on April 14th. We ended May 18th. And the same price was $111 for residents, $139 for non-residents. And in these photos, this is coach pitch. So Coach Feldman is the one up top. He's throwing soft toss to the kids, extremely patient. And as the kids have a harder time hitting the ball, he'll get closer. He'll even go down on his knee and take that chance of throwing the ball and knowing there's a possibility that it might come back and hit him. But it's all progression and teaching the kids eye contact and learning that way. The difference between both is one is T-ball, one is coach pitch. And we had some kids that were of the age of coach pitch, but they just weren't there coach pitch wise. So we actually moved them down to T-ball. And it worked out pretty well. Beautiful Daly City day. You can see the grass is green. Behind you can see Joe's Westlake sign, and the sun is shining. I'll show you a quick little video of a recap Chris Joe did. He does an amazing job. He showed up a couple times out of the season. You can check it out. So that's just a little recap of the season. When I was given the task of running youth athletics, my main focus is making sure the kids fall in love with the sport first, rather than just teaching the kids, we got to win, we got to win. It's more about teaching the kids especially baseball. Baseball is a sport where you actually got to love to play baseball. Basketball's a little different. You could just go out there and have a good time with your buddies, but the numbers in the last 2 years have kind of stayed the same. So it's a little disheartening. I played baseball at a high level in Daly City. I was actually showing some of my coworkers a letter I have from Steve Geramoni. He used to work with the rec department. And I was an all-star in Daly City. I went and played against different cities. And that's kind of my goal I want for these kids. But I'm struggling with trying to get these kids to get involved and just try it out. But it was an extremely exciting season. The kids had a great time. The families had a great time. They would put lawn chairs out in right field and just sit there. And we had the nicest weather, which is extremely weird in Daly City. But I was fortunate for 6 weeks to be in the sun with the families and the kids, and just to see their smiles and positive vibes and high fives and constantly motivating these kids. Just next hit, next ball, next grounder. You do better next time. It's really a good thing to see the kids get better each week. So yeah, I don't know if you have any questions.
Just one,
Or
you
comments?
mentioned that the participants have been about the same amount of kids. What are you hoping to see? Like, is there a maximum amount of participants?
Yeah, so the previous year we had the same. We had 2 coach pitch and we had 4 T-ball. I would like to see 8 T-ball and then 4 coach pitch, 4 coach pitch teams. This year I actually went into the schools. I talked to the kids, handed out flyers, talked to athletic directors. But, we can't physically just put a kid and say, hey, you're playing no matter what. I showed some of the kids the old videos we had and just trying to get the kids to engage and want to play baseball. Basketball's no problem. Everybody wants to play basketball. Baseball, like I said, you really got to want to play the game. So I might be reaching out to you guys in the future to see if we can push it a little further. And if you do have any resources, I would greatly appreciate it, because I don't want to see baseball disappear from Daly City. I want to see it blossom, and I want to see kids play at a competitive level like when I did. But I need a little extra push within the schools. Yeah.
Question. I noticed in the uniforms it said Daly City PAL. What's the relationship with PAL?
That's a good question. Those shirts have been in our possession for a while, and I'm slowly purging them out so I could start a new shirt like I did with Mini Hoops. I don't know if Edgardo could answer that, what our connection was with PAL.
Yeah, so for many years, Daly City PAL would help sponsor the leagues. Because of the lower interest in baseball currently, we haven't really had to reach out for funding or for participation from police activities. So it is something that in the future we will approach again once, Brian is, I'll jump in and do the Denise moment where Brian's passion really shows in this because of what he experienced as a youth, and he's trying to bring that back. And you see it in the everyday when baseball is happening. You saw the clip of the very first, he's out there cheering everyone on. He adjusts his schedule, for those games on the weekends. He makes sure that every coach is felt like they're appreciated because they are volunteering their time. All those parents, they go up to him, they talk to him because Brian's a great guy, and he shows his passion for recreation, for baseball. And it isn't easy with baseball because you can't just play baseball by yourself. Basketball, you can grab a ball, go play on a hoop. You shoot around for hours. Baseball, you cannot do that by yourself. You can't, yeah, I guess you could pitch the ball to yourself, but that's not really fun. You could put it on a tee, not really fun. And unless you have really a good space to play with other people that want to play, it's very difficult to get started. And that's what Brian's trying to do, is getting those first, second graders to get vested in the sport so that it can continue. So the fact that it stayed the same is just to show you that obviously they're going to age out. We don't have anything past what is pitch hit, which is coach pitch. So there's nowhere else for them to go unless they go to a traveling team or another city. And that's what's happening. If you want baseball, you go outside of Daly City. But Brian's doing what he can to get people invested in Daly City. So I know he has a lot of plans for it, and it's just a matter of time. And it's, one season after other. Obviously, if the Giants do well, it'll help. Yeah. But, we can't control that. So, but I just, and again, it's not just because Denise would do this. I'm doing it because I mean it. So Brian does a hell of a job trying to get this going amongst all the other things he has to do. So,
Thank you.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm the kind of person too, like if you give me 10 kids, I'm going to have the best time with the 10 kids. Doesn't matter to me. I mean, obviously I want 200 people, 200 kids playing baseball, but I had a blast every Saturday with 66 kids that were there.
Question. I know you mentioned that it's all the challenges with like the interest in baseball here. How would you describe like the culture of baseball in Daly City, like for up to like the high school age? Because I think like that age group kind of impacts the interest for the younger group. I mean, I'm seeing it in pros where like, okay, I'm not saying we're going to teach these kids celebrations and do all that to spice up the game or nothing like that. But what are like some of the teens doing to keep their interest in baseball in Daly City so then maybe we could replicate that?
Yeah, that's a good thing to talk about with the teens. I haven't really dabbled into that yet. I have gone and watched a Jefferson game, and then I went to a Westmore game. I don't know anybody on the teams. I just wanted to see what the interest was. And the Jefferson team that I watched a couple seasons back had like 28 kids on one team, which to me is alarming because it's a lot of kids on one team, but I don't know the reason why. Maybe they can't find coaches. Maybe they can't yield another team. I don't know. And then I've watched a Westmore game, super exciting game. It was a lot of fun. I think they played someone from down south, maybe South City, but it was very fun. I just sat there and watched baseball, and that's a good idea to try to get someone in the high school ranks to talk to and see, why are they interested in baseball? Because most of the kids that are signed up, it's because their parents are signing them up, and maybe they have interest in the sport. And we're also coming off basketball season right when baseball starts, so. Maybe we could start a little earlier, a little later, or, try to figure out something where, kids can be engaged in both sports at the same time. And, basketball now, I mean, there's AAU. It's not seasonal anymore. It's constantly year round. So when I'm doing baseball, they're going to the Reno tournament AAU programs. That's hard to compete with. So I know it sounds like an excuse, but it's a fact.
It's real. It's real. I definitely understand that.
Yeah.
Excuse my tardy team. I apologize.
No worries.
But I'm curious, how many fields do we have in Daly City?
So I know we have 2 at Westlake. We at least have 3 at Gellert. Marchbank, we have Marchbank, but I know it's going to might be under construction soon. I do believe that might be it.
Okay.
So I would say 6.
Okay.
6 fields.
Yeah,
I mean, that's my overall goal, is to have games at Westlake, games going on at Gellert the exact same Saturday, just like basketball.
Right.
There's games at TRP, there's games at Westlake, there's games at War Memorial.
Yeah.
It's just getting the kids to fill up those fields.
So in the past, when it was a little bit more, they would have games at Westlake and they would have games at Gellert.
Mm-hmm.
So we have used multiple fields at once. It's just unfortunate that the numbers have declined over the years. So it's easier just to keep everything. I mean, obviously with 6 teams, you're only dealing with 3 games. So it doesn't make sense to have people travel different places just to keep it, so. But we do have access to 6 fields.
Okay. Thank you.
But I would love to sit down and brainstorm if everybody wants to. I mean, I'm looking for any help I can get. Like I said, I've gone to the schools and talked to the kids, and they seem excited, but they don't sign up, you know? And I can't forcefully bring a kid into the rec office and say, you better sign up. I just can't do that. I've done my job. I just hope the parents would try to invest in their kids and have them sign up for baseball and just try it out. If you don't like it, don't come back. But I guarantee you can have a good time. That's guaranteed.
How's it been connecting with the parents in
Great.
Daly City?
Oh.
Like for instance, like it seems I think there's probably like since the numbers are pretty consistent, I'm thinking that there are probably folks that are coming back. They had a
Exactly.
great time. Now getting the attention of those parents that are not bringing those students to baseball. I guess like I'm curious, like what does that look like? Have you guys like had conversations or probably like, because I'm kind of thinking about like how can we get those parents?
Yeah.
And possibly like through conversations with the parents that are already there, can they do some outreach as well or whatnot? I would love to brainstorm with you.
Thank you.
ultimately.
Yeah, I've talked to most of the parents, and they're doing it for a Saturday filler, just to let the kids come out, not be on electronics, have a good time, be in the sun. And then some of the parents that did coach pitch, they play in travel teams in Pacifica, in South San Francisco, in Millbrae. So like, yes, they're playing with us, but it's just a temporary. They're playing competitive baseball in a different city when they're born and raised and live in Daly City. So that's a little disheartening also, but they already have a foundation in Pacifica, the baseball league, and they're playing, at a high level. But it's something I'm going to continue working on. And I do have goals, and I do have a date set and all that. I'm a little behind because the kids aren't signing up, but it's not going to deter me from stopping. I care about the kids and the youth. I want them to be out playing baseball like I did when I was in 1993, long time ago.
Absolutely. I think we'll have a chance to talk
Yeah.
some like in the upcoming months, but I do have a couple ideas that I could present to you, and I'd love to bring that to the
I would
table
love
for
to
you.
hear them.
Yep, for sure. Well, again, thank you for sharing. If there's anybody else, any other questions? Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Hi. I think one question I have is just about is there a breakdown of the prices for residents and non-residents that you can provide?
Yeah, so the residents, Daly City residents is $111, and then the non-residents is $139.
Right. So is that like a full package including certain things, or is that just like a general price?
Yeah, so that'll include the season, the one practice a week for 6 weeks, the 6 games. They get a hat, they get a shirt. I have a ton of gloves. I'm giving away gloves. I couldn't give away gloves fast enough. That's included in the whole price.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Have parents ever expressed concern about prices, or even just any reason for why they might hesitate to sign their kids up?
Yeah, to be honest, I've never heard any complaints about the price. To be honest with you, I hear it's
Good.
relatively cheap
Nice.
compared to other cities. I've never heard that. I've heard my daughter's in ballet, or my son is in karate. When is the practice? Oh, can't do that. I'm just not going to sign up. And I'd be like, well, I could put him on a different team, where he practices a different week, and then I go through a lot of hoops to get the kids to play, and it's like, yeah, you know what? We're going to stick to karate. It's like I make all these accommodations, but it just doesn't fall through,
Right.
or it falls through.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you for that. Just want to also express I can hear and sense the passion you have
Thank you.
for just being with the kids and investing your time and energy in this program. I do also have a few ideas that I want to pitch in, especially
great.
We have our connections and might even take advantage of just the Giants right next door, or right next to us, that we can see if we can have their platform support the interest of baseball in Daly
Yeah,
City.
my initial idea, because if the Giants is hard to get, because I know they have their own program as well.
Right.
That they run, and I don't know where we're at. If we still run? Okay, so I know that they have their program, and most their resources go to the Junior Giants program from the SF. But there's Oakland Ballers now, and they're looking like they're just as hungry to get fans in there as much as like you are trying to get youth into the program, and maybe that's an opportunity to just. So like we do have connections. We could reach out to folks like that. So.
Yeah, I would love to sit down and
Yeah.
at this point, listen to ideas and learn from everybody.
For sure. Again, thank you for sharing everything with us and everything you do for the kids, man.
Thank you.
All right, so next we have the first Daly City Hip Hop Day. To kind of talk to you about that is Romeo Benson, Senior Recreation Supervisor.
Good evening, Commission. Edgardo, can you go ahead and put the flyer up? So, this year, Daly City will be holding their first Daly City Hip Hop Day in recognition of Hip Hop Day on August 11th. Our event will be on August 10 at War Memorial from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. These are some of the key features that we're focusing this year. It would be our 2 versus 2 breaking competition. We have some DJ sets, hip hop museum, we're having an Olympic men's breakdancing watch party because during the same time, during that event, they will be holding that event on the Olympics that same day. And then we're also having merch vendors, activities for children. We have free food while supplies last. And one thing that we're trying to do this year, we're doing a tribute to DJ Swift Rock. This flyer currently is not finalized yet. The finalized flyer will be complete this Friday, and so you'll start seeing this announcement probably on Monday, with all our final sponsors, which currently we're waiting on 5 more as of right now. And at this point, I want to hand it to Nate. Nate is one of our team members that has been assigned to come up with the amenities that are actually, the events, the activities that are actually being held throughout the event. Nate, would you like to add?
No, absolutely. So, over the last few weeks, Recreation Department put together like a fabulous team, the Hip Hop Day Committee, to organize and plan this event. After being in the meeting for a few weeks, this is something that Daly City wants to host every single year, and in a sense, this is a pilot version of that. And we hope to, because right now we're working on a slim budget, but we're really driving the fact that there's a lot of hip hop history here in Daly City, and folks have the energy to celebrate that. So we're relying on that. So with that being said, again, there's going to be a full show, stage set up, competitions, DJs playing throughout, as well as hip hop performers and local rappers. The performance list is not yet released yet. We're finalizing that, but we have a good set list for the community here. But again, Romeo said it's going to be Saturday, August 10th. It's going to be a great time. And again, like we're saying that this is the first year, but we hope to grow this next year. And for the commission, I'm definitely, for next year, we're going to be looking for fiscal sponsors so we could make this thing really big. We just seen San Francisco make a deal with a big, if you might know Christina, but it's a big event coordinating company that they do huge, massive concerts. They're the ones that did the Larry June Juneteenth event at Civic Center. Yeah. But we want to get closer. Like, our city deserves stuff like that. And I think we have the opportunity to set the table to bring big performers and give our own city a pretty cool festival. But this is the start of that, so I invite the entire community to come out. One thing right now, we do have a flyer floating around for merch vendors, as well as informational vendors. If you want to have a booth at that event, Romeo, can you discuss on how they could get a
Yes.
hold of that?
So if you are interested in being a merch vendor at this event, you could contact myself, R. Benson, at dalycity.org. Again, R, B as in boy, ENSON at dalycity.org. And Charlotte Tsang, which is CTSANG at dalycity.org. Again, CTSANG at dalycity.org. The fee is only a small fee of only $50 for resource and informational. Literally organizations that promote recreation, education, hip hop courses, or anything hip hop related that provide services to the community. We also are providing them the opportunity to be a resource table at the event.
And there's a QR code for it, right? It's on our
Yes.
social media pages as well? Mm-hmm. Okay.
And that could all be found at Daly City, at Daly City Rec on Instagram and in Facebook.
And I think the last thing we're going to add to this, I know the flyer is going to be finalized and released fairly soon in the upcoming days, but I think we're going to have another flyer just letting everybody know the performance list, everybody that they're going to be looking forward to seeing. But so, Daly City, please be on the look for
Yeah.
that.
And I think Nate said something in regards to the people contributing to this event. It's kind of exciting seeing the people who are coming together. I mean, many of them are either, big name, community leaders in our city, such as, like, for example, we have Mixterious. Mixterious has been providing us sound services for almost every single event. We have Bonneville, who's jumping on board to assist us. We're, located next to the top of the hill. We got the Stacks and Mighty Delrocks, who originally started with Breakers at War. I think that was almost a decade ago at War Memorial. But seeing all these people come together, it's kind of nice. It's it kind of gives that vibe of, like, I think we used the vibe during our meetings is that old hip hop garage party, and that's what we're trying to do right now, and that's what we're hoping to see. So for everyone at home or online or on TV watching right now, come join the party on August 10, 2024.
And vendors, we need vendors. So if you have a small business, you want to break out in your own community, this is a perfect place to do it. But thank you, Romeo. If anybody has any questions,
Regarding vendors, have you guys reached out to the Renaissance Center?
For this year, because it was a little bit short noticed, we tried to do it ourselves.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
All our other events, we reached out to Renaissance Center, but for this one, it was a little bit, we were hoping through our network, we could see what we could do.
Thank you.
All right, so Romy said to join the party, so join the party on August 10th. But after that, we have another party, a couple of parties. So he's going to be talking about upcoming special events, Pachanga, Daly City, and Kasayahan Daly City.
All right, so then after this event in August, we have another event in September 14, which is our Pachanga Daly City celebration of Latin History Month. This year, again, it will be held at Gillert, September 14th, Saturday, 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. We will be having live entertainment, crafts, business vendors, food vendors, information booths. Food vendors and business vendors are provided by Renaissance for this event. Every single year we've been trying to push this event, and I think we've hit that mark where we're making it succeed. And so we're hoping that everyone can join us for this day. Again, it is a free event. The only thing that's costing you are business vendors if you decide to buy merch, and the food vendors in this case. And we do have a little save the date video. Hey, Gardo, can you go ahead and play it just for those people at home or online watching, just to see a recap video? Yes, that's the one. And since I'm already on the mic, for those people who are, if you are, interested in vendoring at the event also, you could go ahead and reach out to us. And the best thing to do is just message us on @DailyCityRec just for more information, and we could direct you where to go. Do we have any questions in regards to this upcoming event?
Before we open up questions, I just want to mention that not displayed there's the host that's been hosting for about 17, 18 years now. Me. So if you want to see me host, act a fool, no. So it's, I just want to mention before you guys ask questions, just say that for a brief while I was responsible for this event, and it's never been better. I must say, like, once Romeo and Jeanette took it over, it has, and it was moved to Gellert, it's really taken on a life of its own. It's been everywhere. It's been at Westlake. It started in Marchbank. I think this is probably the 25th year we've done this event as a city. I'm probably way off, but it's 20 plus years. It started at Marchbank, moved up to War Memorial. It's been at Westlake, and it's finally found its home at Gellert. The amount of vendors, the participation, the crowd, it's different every time, but it has grown a lot more than it has been. It's a lot more authentic, I feel. Even though we've had a lot of like little events, it just feels like a citywide event now, like truly. As much as last year was the first year I had a co-host, which was great. I thought I was gonna get rid of this, it's not my thing, but it's been fun and it's still fun. So I guess I'll keep doing it as long as I'm here. But now, if you have any questions, Romeo will answer those.
Do we have a stage at Gellert?
No. So,
That's what I noticed that. Yeah.
It was brought up this year. We're trying to bring up a riser this year and see where we could go from there. Just slowly build.
I have one. I just wanted to give this opportunity to give credit where credit's due. Who's been like our videographers?
Christopher Joe.
Because it's amazing work.
He's watching, by the way, right now.
Oh,
so if you want to shout out to him.
Thank you for like all the work you do, because it's really dope. Because I see it all the time on Instagram, and it's like high quality work and really captures the essence of every event that they help record. So yeah, I just wanted to take that time. Thank you.
Well, thank you. And then the event following, I think 3 weeks later, we have our Kasayahan sa Daly City. And before we just go into more information, let's just go ahead and play the video, just to give everyone at home an opportunity to see what goes on. Thanks, Edgardo. So this year's event, we're hitting a milestone. This is our 10th year that we're holding Kasayahan sa Daly City. So of course, because with it being our 10th year, we're trying to do it extra special. We're trying to go all out a little bit. The event will be on Saturday, October 5th, 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. At Marchbank Park, which is right next to Century Movie Theaters. People who are visiting the event can either park in the south or north garages. Those are available to us. The event features live entertainment, crafts, food vendors, a beer garden sponsored by Gilman, business vendors, and information booth. I would consider this is our largest event in the city of Daly City. Last year, we hit a record of 90 vendors as of last year compared to where it originally started. I think when we actually had our first event 10 years ago, I think it was just like 20 vendors, and we were just trying to get the word out. But we're now to the point of 90 vendors with the help of NorCal Kababayan and Renaissance. We are able to get those vendors. Our entertainment this year, it will be announced on August 3rd, but we'll go ahead and give you guys a sneak peek. Our headliners this year are DJ Qbert, Premier, and DNH. And I think that's the audience we try to hit are the families, so they bring out their children to come out. We try to have a wide variety of entertainment for both the youth and the seniors, but mostly in this case, it does usually hit, your 30s to the 50s. That's our target audience for this event. The beer garden, again, sponsored by Gilman. All the money from the beer garden goes into our scholarship fund, along with assisting DCPLA also. And so, so if you any vendors who are interested also, again, we usually accept 90 vendors. I think we're almost 3/4 of the way done already. So if you guys are interested, hit us up at Daly City Rec on our IG or Facebook. Any questions?
I think I have one. I think this goes to like any general event, but for this one in particular, because it's so big of an event. Have we heard any like feedback from like maybe the vendors or like people who attend, and have you like taken any of those into consideration?
I think ever since like 10 years ago, we've taken every little bit
Right.
of detail we could take. I mean, in the past 10 years, we had the opportunity to work with so many partners. I mean, consistently the last 10 years, we worked with PBRC, but we've had the opportunity to work with TFC. That was a big one. That's what helped push us in regards to the entertainment. Networking with like NorCal Kababayan, Renaissance has assisted us. I know Christina Luna has played a big role. She literally had molded us, like really, set the expectations in the early years, and we appreciate her help there. So it's really morphed. It really has, and it's kind of scary.
like scare in a good way, like
In a good way. It's like you set a standard, and now you expect yourself to
Right.
exceed continuously.
no, yeah. But you guys have done amazing work because I've been attending since I was, I want to say when I was 16.
You just age yourself.
Well, 24 now. I'm 24 now, so just
You're
let's
younger.
do the math. But yeah, you mentioned PBRC, and as one of their board members, this is an extra special event.
Yeah.
It's 10th annual. So, I mean, granted, we have like a large population of Philams in Daly City alone, which kind of I think helps with
It sure
just
does.
promoting this. Looking forward to it. I always look forward to Kasayahan every October. So, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Romeo.
And that ends our director's report.
All right, thank you for all those that shared. Moving on with the agenda this evening, agenda building for next meeting. Oh, did I skip that completely? Oh my God. I totally thought that was the announcements for. I apologize for that. All right, moving on to the commissioner's report. Let's see. Only thing I would really report on is just basically everything I've been doing with the hip hop committee over the last few weeks, but we kind of went through that update already. But anybody else has any updates?
Yeah, just wanted to report on like the various events that's been happening. I think one is the Spring Fun Day event that happened at was it April or late March? Yeah, so that was really fun. I had a chance to visit for a little while, and talk to some of the staff and kind of ask like how it went. And they did say a lot of good turnout. I think I managed to also buy a comic book from the vendor, so that was really cool. And the Shine event with the Pacific Islanders together, that was a great event. Despite the very windy weather, they persisted. Lovely stage, by the way. I think that's the first time I saw a stage like that at Gellert Park. And yeah, great vendors. And I bought this ring, or this bracelet actually, from one of the vendors. So it was really cool. So yeah, that's about it.
I actually do have one thing to add for this, but thank you for sharing, Fernando. I had the opportunity to stop by War Memorial Gym during like recreational like summer hours, so it was like around like 11, 12 to 1-ish. They had that thing popping. The gym was full completely downstairs. Upstairs they had recreation going on. I think it was like badminton, adult badminton, and then adult ping pong in the other room. But every room there's something going on. The gym is completely packed. So great job to the team, Gina and everybody at War Memorial and everybody here at Recreation. Whenever I do these like quick little pop-up visits, I don't try to be intimidating the staff over there. Just want to see what's going on in the community, and is a blessing that War Memorial is just a stone throw away from where I work, and I get to just walk over there and stop by, check it out. But thank you for the staff, the front desk staff that accommodated me and the guests that I brought with me as well. But like I said, if you guys have an opportunity to check out the summer programs, they go on from the morning to the afternoon. Is great seeing literally every resource, every corner of our facilities being used in positive ways. So thank you. And then moving on to announcements and communications. I'll give that to Edgardo.
All right. So, well, yes. So we are kind of winding down summer, unfortunately. Next week is the last week of our summer youth recreation program, and a lot of the summer camps are ending. But feel free to check out our website and see what's left. If you still need to find something for your kids, www.dalycity.org/iplay. But with that, if you needed to find out more information about what the recreation department provides, and other resources, we'll be at Ceremony Center on Saturday, August 3rd from 11 to 2. We'll be tabling. We'll have a lot of information vendors from the community providing information about all ages, the upcoming events, programs, services that are being provided in the community. So again, that's at Ceremony Center on Saturday, August 3rd, 11 to 2. And as we mentioned earlier, August 10th, Saturday, from 11 to 4, or 11 to, is it 11 to 4? 11 to 5, sorry, yeah. So at War Memorial Community Center, we're going to be celebrating Hip Hop Day. So we did discuss a lot of the stuff that's coming up. But for more information, make sure you follow our Instagram and our Facebook at Daly City Rec. And that is it for announcements and communications.
Thank you, Edgardo. Moving on to the agenda building for next meeting. Glad I got it right this time. But I don't have anything to add for the agenda. However, I wanted to ask you, Edgardo, is it possible for next meeting if you could provide us like an organizational chart? And like, would that, I guess it's like a family tree, but with everybody that works in the org. We've had some reshuffling with our commission over the last few months, and I think maybe there's some changes in the org, but I think it would empower us to feel free to communicate to the rec staff, knowing like what position they're in, maybe a little description of their role. That way we could like hit up, Brian about, talking about baseball a couple months down the line or whatnot, and we will have the autonomy as a commission to do that. So I think it would be a good resource for us if that's possible.
Yeah, we can provide that information.
By any chance, can you provide some explanations if, like, for instance, we want to brainstorm and can 3 of us join in one sitting to talk about a brainstorming session about baseball, for instance? Or would we have, like, individual meetings with?
So if you wanted to bring brainstorming back, that would be a topic that could be brought in during the agenda building. So if that was something that was of interest, we could bring it to the next meeting. or a future meeting before, we just could plan out what day or what time, and then we could have a discussion about it as part of the commission meeting. Yeah.
And so I could elaborate on like this particular portion of the agenda. So like I made this special request about a couple years ago to add, maybe a year ago, I don't know, but to add this into the agenda every week. That way we have that space to, maybe there's a topic we wanted to bring back into the light. We have that opportunity to do so. However, just so you guys know, we do have a mechanism just in case like the meeting is really long. Denise and Edgardo kind of gave me the permission to adjust. Let's say like, so you wanted to add something to the agenda for next month. I might make the call to push it for the month after, just based off how this agenda is. And like, usually my decision making on it is like, okay, do we have a bunch of youth speaking? Do we have a lot of youth focused events? Let's just focus on that because we might have youth in our meetings. We don't want to keep them out too late. We start at 7, later than most of the other like meetings or whatnot. But if most of the time, I'm not gonna like shut it down or postpone it. If you want it for next meeting, we should be able to have it. And I guess I think I covered everything about that.
Alternatively, you could set up a subcommittee and have 2 commissioners serve on that and work independently, and then bring back, when you'd have your commissioner report, and come back and talk about what was, done. So as long, obviously, as long as it's not more than 3. But again, if there is more interest, then it could be a discussion that could be had amongst all commissioners.
And I'll definitely encourage like the one-on-one, like feel free, like again, have the autonomy to, everyone has emails, correct? So like they should.
Correct, yes. So all city staff, all full-time city staff that oversee their programs do have direct contact. So we can provide that to you if you wanted to reach out for whatever reason.
Because we do have our meetings every month, so like if you do have that one-on-one with a staff member, I think the mechanism is put it on like take the agenda building portion, add it to the next meeting, and then we could have that public discussion in front of the entire community. But definitely encourage you guys to do your one-on-ones if you have the capacity for it, only if you guys have the capacity. Family and your guys' career first. We're all volunteers here, but like we definitely know our priorities, and Daly City is one of them.
Thank you.
Anything else for this portion? Cool. I'll go ahead and move on. I know I have a really bad habit for these meetings and not like calling for a motion to adjourn, so I'm gonna make sure I do that today. So if there's nothing else for this evening, nobody else has anything to say, I'd like to put a motion to adjourn this meeting. Can I get a second?
Second.
All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. See, I know I've been missing.